Hello everyone, welcome to WETO. In today's video, we're going to do a bit of practice. We go through 3 examples that will help us better understand the logic behind roof generation in Viskon. But the same rules actually apply to all WETO software as well. If you already have an active WETO license, feel free to follow the steps along with me. This way we can learn more effectively together. So let's dive in and take a look at our first roof. Let's start a new project and generate a raft foundation slab, which will be 10 by 10 meters. Let's generate the 3D view. Project data, we don't need that. And here we are. We have a 10 meters by 10 meters base slab. We would like to shape it so that it has a T form. So let's start with guidelines. This will help us shape our base here. So let's start from the top. I will create a 3-meter section. The middle part will be here, again 3 meters. This part is gonna be 3.5, so the remaining one is 3.5, and this side is gonna be bigger. I'm gonna put it on the half point, so our shape will be this one. Okay, so let's start shaping our base slab. I'm gonna use the move edge portion under the create panel slab modification command. You will need to select the edge which you want to modify, then select the edge portion. The program will ask you whether you want to extend the edge, even if one of your points is on the vertex, on the corner of the slab. Of course, we want to do that. I'm gonna pull in this side. And on the other side, though, we're gonna go only this much. And we're finished. This is our base now. That's what we're gonna use to create our roof. So how do we start the roof generation? Well, the main logic is to use dual pitches wherever you can. So dual opposite pitches. This means that you should put gable roofs anywhere possible. We're gonna need to pair opposite edges. For example, these 2 edges are gonna get paired together, so these will form a gable roof, and these 2 as well. We're gonna select this side and this side. I know that they are not the same length, but this doesn't matter, and you will see why. So let's start with putting a gable roof here. The default generation method is 2 edges, so I just started the command. 2 edges is already selected, and now we need to click on the 2 specific edges where you want to create the roof. Okay, it's done. And another 2 edges are gonna be this one and this one. Now we need to finish our roof with single pitches. So obviously, where you don't have another pair of edges to create gable roof, you will need to use a single pitch. And in our case, single pitch will be here. Again, using the edge method, you select the edge and select the orientation, which is mainly towards the inner portion of the building. I'm gonna put another single pitch here, another single pitch here, and to finish, we're gonna put a simple gable or verge, which is basically the end of the roof. We're gonna put it here on this edge, and again the orientation towards the center of the building. Okay, we have a fully connected reference contour. As you can see, these arrows are the reference lines, and this is what you need to pay really close attention for. If you have any two arrows not touching each other in any corner, then your roof won't work. It won't be a whole roof, and you won't be able to modify it automatically. So, to make sure that every single reference line reaches the one next to it, we should use this command, edit reference line, and create corners. And you should go through every corner in your building, so you will be 100% sure that your roof is working. Now, we are certain that this should work, but the problem is that this roof is clearly not right. I don't even know what is happening here, but let's try fixing it. How do you do that? Well, go to the roof menu, edit profile, and select one of your pitches. Here we have the profile editor, where we should change some important parameters. First, go to the Purlin plate. It doesn't matter left or right, just Purlin plate. Here we should set the support height to 0 and quickly transfer this parameter to the other side. Now select one of the middle purlins, left or right, and uncheck this checkbox because we won't need these ones. And finally, color beams, we will uncheck this one too. And to apply these settings to the whole roof, let's transfer these options to multiple pitches. So you should select every other single or dual pitch on the roof and click on the transfer button. And you can already see in this picture that it's already taking a normal shape. But let's check it out. You could see these black lines, which indicates the previous form of the roof, but these can be deleted by just pressing the F2 button, which is a general regenerate button. And now we have this beautiful roof. And it was almost all automatic, so we just played some dual pitches, single pitches or gables, and with some parameter modification in the profile editor, we have an almost complete roof. It's not that hard, is it? Let's continue with placing the valley rafters, which is here, hip and valley rafter. We won't edit it too much, we just place it. You can select shift the base or not. I like to uncheck this. Do whatever you want with your own valley rafters. After you finish, you click OK, and you can place the same beams on every position. I'm gonna go through it quickly. You could see you just hover over the blue line, where should the hip or valley rafter be, click on it and click on OK in the dialog box, and you have your new element. Okay, we are almost complete, but our final step is to generate the rafters, which again can be arranged automatically with this command, automatic rafters arrangement. Click on it select one of your pitches. The program identifies the whole roof, and by typing some parameters like maximum distance 80 centimeters, you just press the tab button and you can already see the preview here. Create end rafters or don't create, that's all up to you. When you finished, click OK, and it's done more or less. Sometimes you can have some minor issues like not generating all the rafters. This could happen. The program isn't perfect, but you can easily complete the arrangement with single rafters. Just click on the command, select the roof, and place your rafters. If you have to manually distribute some rafters, you just select the first command, click on the pitch where you want to distribute them, and define the area where you want them to be. And you can do this in all the places where there's a missing rafter. Well, yes, we haven't touched the support part where we put posts and columns to support our purlins. This is not a complete structure, I know that, but the free beam and 3D solid creation was not our focus here. Our focus was to better understand the logic of roof pitch creation. This is the base, and from here you can start creating complete structures. But that's the topic of another video. You can search it on our channel, and we also paste some links in the description, so check that out. Okay, this was our first example. Let's dive into the second one. And for that, I'm gonna copy this slab and modify it. So here we have a copy of the first base slab. And now we want to shape this into an H form. So let's put these edges back to its place so that we have a full rectangle. Use the move edge command and extend these two edges back to the normal. Now we have a 10 by 10 base, but for our next shape we need a 14 by 10. So I'm gonna extend this side by 4 meters. And the H shape is kind of laying down, but I'm gonna show you what I mean. This portion will be 4 meters. This one is 2. Here we have 6 meters. And here, 4, sorry. And here, 4 meters. Now, let's get a modification. Again, plug in, create a null, slash slab, move the portion, click on the edge, define the segment, and extend or retract it. This is another edge, this is a segment, and this is new place. So, here we have the new shape. You can delete the guidelines or just simply click on this icon and they will disappear. So, we have our new slab, and we should repeat the main logic. We use dual pitches wherever we can, and the other side's gonna be completed with single pitches or gables. In this specific case, in the middle portion, we're gonna use the T-gable. Now the T-gable comes really handy when you want to create a smaller gable roof perpendicular to a bigger one. Let's create this, the pitches, and you will understand even better. Now, before we start building our second roof, it's important to note that if you have multiple roof assemblies in one single project, you should always create another structure, because if you create multiple roofs in the same structure, they behave as they were one roof. So you wouldn't be able to modify them separately. So I'm gonna create the structure 2, and now in this new structure I'll start creating our second roof. Let's start with 2 dual pitches on these 2 longer sides. So you start with the command dual opposite pitches, and this time we're gonna use the points creation mode because I want to define this whole side as one edge of the roof, but this middle portion comes in between the 2 ends, so I cannot just simply choose this edge because this ends here. I want to go from this point all the way to this point. So let's choose this middle option up in this little indicator. I'm gonna define one full edge with 2 clicks. The third click, as says down in the tip, select the distance to second reference line. So I'm gonna go ahead and just click once on the other side. And now with 2 other clicks, I can define this edge. And here we have one gable roof. Now we're gonna repeat these exact steps on the other side. So one edge with 2 clicks. Third click indicates a point on the other side, and another 2 clicks for the other edge. So we have 2 gable roofs now. Let's quickly end these with verges. In this case we can use simply just the edge mode and pull the arrow inside. Okay, we have one full roof. We have another one. So now that we have 2 separate gable roofs, let's connect them with one T-gable. Choose the T-gable roof command, and this time we can use the default 2 edges mode. Specify these 2 edges in the middle portion, and you immediately get a new connected H roof. Our next step is to clean things up because it's a little bit messy. Get into the profile editor. Let's put these purlins down on the slab by nullifying the support height. Transfer to the other side. We don't need middle purlins. This is a small roof. And we don't need collar beams either. And now I can transfer all these settings to the other 2 gable roofs. Transfer, click OK, OK again, and now we have this connected H roof. I'm sure that you already noticed that these 2 reference lines, which indicates the T-gable, are somewhat connected to the bigger roofs reference lines, but are not forming a corner. Well, the T-gable functions this way because if you create here a corner, you will lose this reference line completely. So this gable roof ceases to work as gable. This is the correct way to use the T-gable command. You don't need to create here corners with a reference line edit. Okay, so you don't need to use this here. But this is the only case. All the other cases need to be connected with this corner option. Alright, let's continue building our roof. The next ones are the hip valleys. Just as in the first example, you just select these valley lines, just click on them, and after a short modification, if you need to, you just click OK, and they are on their places. Okay, and the final step is to quickly generate those common rafters. I leave everything as default, and now we have this wonderful roof assembly. Okay, now comes the final example. This will be a little more complicated, but let's start again with the slab modification. I've already copied the previous one. With the move edge command, I'm gonna give it back its original rectangle shape, and we will start from here. For our final roof, I'm gonna need a 12 by 11 rectangle, so 12 meters by 11 meters. Right now we have 10 by 14. Let's stretch it a little bit. I'm gonna pull it back by 200 centimeters and stretch this side by 1 meter. Now it's 12 by 11. Okay. This upper portion is gonna be 3 meters. Here is 4. Down here is 3 again. And this is 4. Okay. And the last thing, this side, which is 5 meters. Okay. Let's shape the slab itself. Now that we have the guidelines, select the move edge portion this time. This portion will be pulled back all the way to this guideline. On this edge, I select this portion, and we have the form, we have the shape of the slab. This is it. Now, hide the guidelines so they don't bother us. And let's start again with the pitches. Now, what's the strategy? Well, we're gonna create 1, 2, and 3 dual pitches. And I'm kind of thinking the 4th one. So dual opposite pitches. I'm gonna use the 2 edges mode. 1 edge, 2 edge. Again, 1 edge, 2 edges. 1 and 2. And the last one, 1 and 2. Okay, so it's somewhat connected, but it's not complete. Let's end with 2 single pitches. Here. And also here. Okay. And now the cleanup. Profile editor. Enter into the profile. And you can see that I made a mistake. I did not create another structure. So this is what I told you before. If you create 2 separate roofs in the same structure, you will get this anomaly. The 2 roofs will appear in the profile editor. So let's try it again with a different structure. So structure, create new structure, structure 3, and do this all over again. Dual opposite pitches, 1 side, 2 sides, 1, 2, 1, 2, and 1, 2, and finish it with the single pitches. All right, now we should be okay. Go ahead and edit the profile, and you can see that it's much better in this little picture here in the profile editor. We only have one single roof assembly. Okay, let's put the purlins back on the concrete floor. Transfer. This time we could use the middle purlins. We just need to retract the support height back to 1 meter. No, even less, 50 centimeters. And the cross section should be 10 by 10. That's enough. Okay, transfer to the other side. And finally, the color beams. We already have them created, so we just need to modify them. For example, the width 5 centimeters and thickness is 10. Okay, and now we have them. Comb depth, we can make it 0. And back cut is 1 centimeter. That's okay. Let's transfer all these settings to the other pitches. Transfer. Okay. And okay again. All right. We have this whole roof. Let's put those valley rafters on it. Yes, we have the hip and valley rafters, and now the common rafters. You know the drill. It's the automatic rafters arrangement command. Click on one pitch and the program do the rest. Sometimes this method leaves some empty spaces, but it's nothing too serious. We just complete the arrangement manually. Fine. You can see that in the profile editor we had those color beams, but right now they don't show up. That's because we need to put them on the roof with the color beams command. So select it, select one of your gable roofs, and they will show up immediately. Yes, this is it. Now we have everything as is in the profile editor. You can see some color beams not reaching all the way through the roof. That's because they don't have an exact pair on the other side. You can go ahead and just simply delete them. See, select them and press on the delete button. And that's it. That was 3 examples for the roof creation logic. I hope you all understand better now how to create your roofs. Please leave a comment if you have other questions. And check out the description because we're gonna put some links referring to other useful tutorials. So thanks for watching and have a nice day.